After another poor goal went past David De Gea against Tottenham yesterday, is it time for Manchester United to move on to Dean Henderson? Let's get into it. What is up, everybody? Jacob Barthez here with Amateur Hour Sports, back at it again with another video talking about David De Gea and Dean Henderson, the goalkeeping dilemma at Manchester United. Who's going to be starting next season? This is Amateur Hour Sports, where we give you raw and unfiltered sporting content Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if it is your first time here with me today and you like what you see, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's been David De Gea in goal for Manchester United for nearly a decade. It's been 9 years since we signed him from Atletico Madrid in 2011, and it's been, it was a rocky start, but it's been mostly fantastic from De Gea. He turned into the best goalkeeper in the world at one point. He is no longer at that level, but starting to regress. And with Dean Henderson on such a meteoric rise at Sheffield United, we're wondering if it's time to move on from David De Gea and move on to Dean Henderson. Firstly, I think Manchester United have recognized, but they need to recognize this, if not already, that Dean Henderson needs to be the goalkeeper of this decade. Last decade it was De Gea. For the latter part of the 2000s decade, it was Van der Sar. So we've pretty much had a goalie stapled into a decade of the history. And I think Dean Henderson needs to be the one stapled into the next decade, because it's no secret David De Gea is starting to regress. He's starting to make more mistakes frequently, and it's kind of odd that, at only 29 years old, all these mistakes are really starting to happen, but they are getting more frequent over the last couple seasons. But he does have his moments of brilliance, because 2 minutes, 5 minutes after he lets in a pretty sloppy goal against Bergwijn, where it was shot, there was some pace on it, but it was right at him. A goalkeeper in the Premier League needs to save that, and it's a goal where Harry Maguire showed the agility of a dump truck as the lightning-quick Bergwijn just bolted past him and launched it right at De Gea, and he still lets it in. But 2 to 5 minutes later, Heung-min Son with a header, and David De Gea pulls off a blinder of a save. It's really odd, and the shot stopping has always been the best component of David De Gea's game. It's absolutely no secret, but the shot stopping is starting to deteriorate a little bit, and that's the problem, because that's what made him the best goalkeeper in the world at the time. And losing the shot stopping is really worrying, because now, United over the last few years have really had to rely on David De Gea. He has won them so many points, and that's stopping happening now. So is it time to move on? Well, let's remember, we still have the rest of this season to evaluate. If you ask me right now, I would say let's give David De Gea one more season. Dean Henderson out on loan for another season, if he's okay with that. Bottom line is, Dean Henderson needs to be the starting goalkeeper at some point in the next year, max 2 years. If Dean Henderson wants to leave United at any point, you boot De Gea and put Dean Henderson in net, because you are not losing a talent like that. He came through the youth system, had some spells on loan, really broke out with Shrewsbury Town, and then went to Sheffield and just started that meteoric rise, and he is where he is now, fighting for a European position with Sheffield United, and he is arguably the most important piece in that team, the way he's been playing this season. Other great important pieces there, but Dean Henderson has been absolutely tremendous there. I think he is the number one England goalkeeper. If there was Euro 2020 happening this summer, I would say he 100% needs to be starting in goal for the Three Lions. I don't think we should jump to criticize De Gea just so quickly after one mistake in the first game back. I think we need to really evaluate how he is going to be over the rest of the season. We're still fighting for a Champions League position, because it looks like a top 5 spot may in fact be that Champions League position, given Manchester City's ban from the Champions League for the next 2 years. So finishing in that 5th place, as De Gea is instrumental in getting us there, then maybe we can give him one more year. But if he consistently shows for the rest of this season that maybe he is not quite up to the level of Manchester United, what we need him to be anymore, because we have the replacement already there, then maybe we can decide, yes, Dean Henderson, it is his time to step in to fill that role. But I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been communicating with Dean Henderson. I've read that they want to send him out on loan to Sheffield for one more year. I don't think they should send him out anymore. I think it needs to be the end of next season. Hopefully, that's when we have to replace De Gea. If it has to be at the end of this summer, then we'll evaluate that when we get there. But I think time will tell for De Gea at this point. I think we need to stay patient. We need to reward De Gea with, maybe not his loyalty, but he's been here for 9 years, maybe against his will in some components with Louis Van Gaal. I think we need to reward De Gea for his loyalty. Stick with him till the end of this season to see how it goes. I'm very content with our backup situation with Sergio Romero. As far as I'm concerned, he's the best backup in world football, and that's not a minority opinion there. He is a tremendous backup goalie, so I think we can bring in Dean Henderson to be the starting goalie. I don't think Dean Henderson would ever need to come in to be a backup. I don't think he would even want to be a backup goalie. He's way too good to be a backup goalie. So we need to commit in the next year. Next summer, we have to commit to one or the other. And it cannot be De Gea at 30 years old next summer. It simply cannot be. We need to focus on the big picture, the future, and Dean Henderson is the future of Manchester United. I hope they handle that situation well. I hope he doesn't leave. He better not fucking leave. We need to keep Dean Henderson in our ranks for the next decade, but let's stay patient. Let's wait till the end of the season and evaluate at that point. If you ask me right now what I'd say, I'll end on this. If you ask me right now what I think we should do with David De Gea, I think we should stick with him for one more year because he still has his great games. He still has his fantastic performances. And just because, he lets in one goal, we can't just implode like this. If it happens consistently for the rest of the season, then again, we've got that decision. But let's not jump too hastily to make such a rash decision. Also, we need to find a suitable buyer for De Gea. Hopefully, we can find a suitable buyer for De Gea so he doesn't go out on a free. But if that has to be, so be it. Big plan, 2021 in the summer, Dean Henderson takes over as the #1 goalkeeper for Manchester United. That would be what I want ideally. That will wrap up this episode. Thanks for watching. Comment down below what you think Manchester United should do with their goalkeeper situation. Should David De Gea be starting in goal next season, or should it be Dean Henderson? Please let me know. Also, if it's not next season, then when do you think Dean Henderson should come in? Or maybe should Sergio Romero be the #1 goalkeeper at Manchester United? But thank you for watching. Again, please like the video if you like and subscribe to Amateur Hour Sports for more content just like this. As well, hit that notification bell. We post 4 times a week. Stay up to date with all that content coming your way. And please remember, at the end of the day, I believe what I say. And if you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time.